guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you 3 DIY crafts that you can use for your winter decor after all your Christmas decorations come down. So this first one is snowballs, and it is very simple to make. So the first thing you'll need is some styrofoam balls, and I actually got these at Hobby Lobby and they were 40% off. Then you'll need some Mod Podge glue, some Epsom salts, which I found at Walmart, and then just a couple bowls. And you're just going to pour some of the glue into a bowl, and then you're going to use some of the Epsom salts and just pour that into a bowl. And then actually you just take your styrofoam balls, roll them into the glue first and then into the Epsom salts, and you kind of just roll it around like how you would rolling a snowball outside. And then to dry, I used an egg carton just to elevate it a little bit and to keep it from sticking to anything, and let that dry for at least a day. And then you're going to have some cute little snowballs to set around and enter into your decor, and it'll look super cute. And I just thought they looked really realistic, and I really loved them. I loved how they turned out. Also, I wanted to say hi, I'm Amy. If you're new to my channel, I do videos on cleaning, decorating, DIY. So if you're interested in that, I ask that you just hit that subscribe button, and I'd love to have you back. So one tip I did find is when I was rolling the styrofoam balls in the glue was to take my finger here, as you see, and just coat the surface a little bit lighter, because if not, you're just picking up tons and tons of Epsom salt. So I found that just, taking off some of the glue worked better, and the Epsom salts actually adhered better to the glue, and the balls didn't actually look as fluffy. So if you want a fluffy ball, then go ahead and use that glue, but I just didn't want to waste all that glue. So the pack that I got at Hobby Lobby had 6 different balls, and they had 1 very large one, 2 like medium, and then the rest were small. But I really liked the variation in the sizes, but you could do whatever you want. So here's the very large one. And then I'll be finishing up with that, and we'll move on to the next craft. Let me know what you think of these in the comments below. I'd really like to hear if you're interested in making these. So here they are, all finished, and don't they look realistic? So just remember to let them dry for a couple of days before putting them out. Next up is a pom-pom wreath. So the supplies you'll need is some type of wreath form, and I went ahead and just picked up a styrofoam one. This one is 13.8 inches. You can also get the wire forms that you can tie the pom-poms on, but I thought this would be just as nice, and they were actually on sale. And then I got this Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek yarn, and I got it in 3 colors. The one is more like a cream and white, a gray, and then here is the white, and it's the actual pom-pom that we will be making. And you can make them in different sizes depending on how far that you put each tie, and I'll show you this here in a second. And then also, to batch make pom-poms, you can use the legs of a chair, a stool, a piano bench, just something that has some distance between 2 legs. And so here I'm going to show you. You just tie it off on one of the legs, and then you just start wrapping around and around, and you want your string to be pretty thick in the center. So if you're wanting a 2-inch pom-pom, you want your center to be at least an inch. So like a 1:2 ratio, nothing less than that, because if your center is too small, your pom-pom is going to look very droopy. So the thicker your center is compared to your actual distance of your pom-pom, or the diameter, if they're closer together, you'll have a fuller pom-pom. So now I'm just taking pieces that are about 14 inches long, and then I'm just wrapping that 2 times around and then tying it very tight around all the strings and letting them just fall down. And this is going to actually be the center of each of your pom-poms. So you want the distance between it to be half of the distance that you're going to want for your pom-pom. So my distance was about 2.5 inches, and each of my pom-poms were around 2 inches. I didn't do them perfect. I didn't care that they were going to be different sizes. I actually kind of wanted that. So the distance between my two legs and the 2-inch pom-poms, I used 150 yards for all of the pom-poms on this section. But that will depend on how far apart your legs are and then how thick you want your pom-poms to be. So now you're just going to start cutting your pom-poms, and just remember the string that you tied is actually going to be the center. So you want to go in the middle of the 2 ties that you made, and then you're going to cut that, and then you can just trim off any of the excess that might be different from side to side. And the more you trim off, the fluffier your pom-pom will be. So it's just variable of how you want them to look. Some of them I left mine more fluffy, and then some I wanted them to look a little bit more stringy looking, so I didn't cut off as much. So you just continue this process until you get as many pom-poms that you need. And this, you can use these pom-poms for different things. You can make garland out of them. You could also use the pom-poms to put on different socks or shoes, or even a knitted hat. You could make the pom-poms for that. So this batch way of making the pom-poms makes it go a lot quicker, and I think they turned out really great. So here I wanted to just show you what it would look like if you used a lot less for your center, and then when you put the center string closer together, you're going to have a smaller, more dense looking pom-pom. So I just wanted to give you an idea of how that would look. So that's what I'm doing here. So then you're just going to start cutting. And the only tip is, do not cut that string that you have for your center, because that's what's going to tie around your wreath. So once you've made all your pom-poms, and like I said, for the size of my pom-poms and my wreath, I did 550 yards, and I'm not sure how many pom-poms that made. I didn't count them all, but I did some medium and some small of all 3 colors. So what I'm going to do is just start tying each of the pom-poms around the wreath. And what I like about this is you can actually move the pom-poms and fill in areas that might be bare. And then I just try to arrange the pom-poms, some large, some small, filling in areas that were bare, and then just trying to keep it all symmetrical and flowing around the whole wreath. And as you can see, I just keep going around and trying to distribute the colors evenly around the wreath, like some gray and some white and some of the variegated cream color, and then filling in with the smaller ones. And you just keep doing this, and it's a lot of tying, and it's a great project to sit down, watch a movie with your family, and then just tie on your pom-poms on your wreath. But I just continue doing this all the way around, and then I'll show you what I do with the back with the ends. I'll just trim them off. So now that I have all the pom-poms tied onto the wreath form, I'll make sure that they are, covering the wreath and there's no open or any gaps. And then I'm just going to pick up all the strings in the back and then cut them within about a ½ inch of the knot in the back. And then after that's all done, you can just hang it and enjoy the pom-pom wreath. And I think it just looks so cozy and really looks wintry to me. So I'm excited to hang this up and enjoy it the rest of the winter season. So here it is, all complete, and you could really change this up by doing different color yarns, and I just really love how it turned out. So nice and cozy looking. So here is the final craft that I have for you today, and it is going to be hot glue gun snowflakes. So what I did was just take a printed paper that I Google searched snowflake and then printed that out. And then I have a piece of glass that actually came from a picture frame. I think it's a 5x7. Took that out, and that is going to lay over top of the snowflake that you printed out. And then you're going to take your hot glue gun, and then you're just going to trace over that. And what you're left with is the snowflake form. And once it has set up and dried, it's going to look like a crystal snowflake that will just shimmer in the light. So I thought this was a really cute idea. Just take your time, and the more you make, the better you get. And I'll just let you watch and see how this turns out. Also, the more detail your snowflakes have, the harder it is to trace, because your glue gun, of course, lets out a lot of glue. And so you want to find snowflakes with a little less detail, and then once you get better, then you can add more detail as you go. And you can, make these various sizes. And if you do use them on your windows as clings, just want to remind you to be careful with small children and dogs, because they could be a choking hazard. So just wanted to remind you, because they could fall off. Now you're just going to peel them off, and any of the strings from the hot glue you can actually either cut off or pick off, so that they're nice and smooth and have really clean edges. So when you're picking them off, just be careful not to pull them apart. Just kind of go easy at it. I just used my fingernails, but I'm sure you could use something to scrape it off if you would prefer. But just take your time so that you don't rip the glue. And once it's done, you have a really cool looking white snowflake. So here's a better look at the ones that I made. You could actually use string and hang them on a pine tree. You could use them as clings, and then you could also add glitter to them so that they could sparkle. So you could really personalize these snowflakes and make them just a cute little accessory. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you'll be making these for your home and that they'll be going up when your Christmas decor goes down. If you did enjoy this video, give me a big thumbs up. And also, if you like videos on decorating and cleaning, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Until next time, I'll see you on Simply Our Home. Bye! Have a great day!